Hello, hello, good morning. How's everybody doing? What's going on? Happy Wednesday. Let me turn up the brightness. There we go. There we go. Let me adjust my shirt and turn the volume up because y'all may be like, I can't hear her. Okay. All right. We are here. All the tech is working. Let's go. How y'all feeling today? What's going on? Pop up in the comments. Let me know you're here. Say what's up. Say hello. And of course, if you're catching on the replay, hit that replay button or hit that replay in the comments. Because today we are getting into some tips, some fun, easy to apply tips so that you can take your outfits from maybe feeling a little boring, a little understated, and add some chicness, add some flyness, add some personality. Just add a little sauce to the situation. You know what I'm saying? So I am actually going to be sharing my screen to roll through a couple of these tips with y'all. So let me get to the tips. Boom, boom, ba-dum, ba-dum. Okay. We got them. Here we go. Excellent. Let me get into the present mode. Okay, share screen. We want to share that tab. Boom. Y'all feel me? Y'all feel me? Y'all got me? Let me go back to StreamYard for a hot tab. Okay, solid. Excellent, excellent. Okay, so let's get into 5 tips to elevate your look and on any budget. All right. These are tips that you can do in any shape or form. Okay. Whether you want to thrift and find these finds, or if you want to hit Bergdorf and knock your socks off. Okay. Like you can do it at any stage or anything in between, boutiques, Zara, like it doesn't matter. These are things that you can do that are definitely going to add just a little bit of interest and panache, okay, to your outfit. Hey, Janae, so good to hear from you. Glad you could pop in. Okay, so the 5 tips are: 1, gold jewelry; 2, layering pieces; 3, jewel tone colors. Love that one. 4, uniquely shaped handbags. Yes, ma'am. Okay. And 5, mixing textures. Okay. Now, let me put my phone on do not disturb for, as soon as you start to do something, then all of a sudden it'd be like, boom, 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 ding, ding, ding. Let's quiet that noise. So those are the 5 tips, and we're going to dive deeper into each one. All right. Okay, gold layered necklaces. When I talk about adding gold jewelry to elevate your look, it's really in these gold layered necklaces where it gets to be game changing. Okay. I think gold is an amazing metal that really warms you up. It adds that feeling of luxury. Okay. It adds that elevated feeling of just, listen, feeling expensive and worthy of being expensive. Okay. Like that's a vibe and an energy that I think we all should tap into in some way. And it again, not even again, but it doesn't have to be pretentious, right? Or off-putting, but it is from a space of like, I love beautiful things. Like, I love to treat myself. I love to indulge. I love to spoil myself, right? Like it is just saying that you are worthy of luxury. Like you are, okay? However you define that, like you are. So I love that what that gold medal does because it just adds that just that hint of lux that you need, um, especially when we're talking about layering necklaces. Okay, so you can layer necklaces simply by buying a piece that's all layered together. I mean, there are tons of brands. I listen, I have a pair that's from Target that I've had for a very long time that serves me so well, and all the strands are together. Um, or you can mix and match. Like I have some gold necklaces that I got from Ghana, and sometimes I will just layer those up together. Okay. So the big thing here is just to think about obviously the lengths of the necklaces, right? The whole trick with layering is that you just want each of the lengths to be visible and have space in between them. So you can see in the woman that's here, the first one with the black shirt, right? Like each necklace hits at a different point. Each necklace is a different length. Okay. So if you are deciding to order necklaces individually online, just look at the length of the necklace. Don't get two necklaces that are both 16 inches. It ain't gonna layer. They're gonna be the same place. Okay. So you want to get like 14 inches, 16 inches, 18 inches, like have 2 inches of space in between. You're gonna definitely like be in the right place to make sure the necklaces are layered and popping, right? Portia, a good layered necklace it's so easy and it's very simple. And the other part about it is it this is one of those like effortless style. Like these tips are things that are just going to make it seem so easy and seamless that you're just like, oh, I'm stylish. Like this is just what I do. Because you didn't just put on one necklace, you have on three, right? And when you do layer gold necklaces, definitely a minimum of two, three is the sweet spot. Okay. The other thing to think about with gold layered necklaces is for that last necklace, the one that is the lowest, like let that be a pendant or something that has something that has something small like a pendant that hangs, right? Like whether that's a birthstone, whether that's a symbol that's, you know, so that has some kind of special meaning for you, like whether it's just even some shapes, but let it be something there that's hanging and not just the chain. Okay, for the first and second necklaces that you get, those can just be the chain. You could do a herringbone chain, you can do a linked chain, right? Like you can have different chains too that have different shapes to them or different sizes and weights in the actual chain. Some chains are thin, some are a little thicker. Some are going to give you, more of a iced tea kind of vibe, right? Like iced tea. I said iced tea. I can't. More of an iced tea vibe, like if you want something thicker, that works too, but if you want something that's a little bit more delicate, go with a thinner weight, right? But it really just depends on you, your vibe, what you want to have going on. And you can mix them. You can mix the thickness of the chains together. So it doesn't all have to be delicate, right? Like you could have a really thin chained necklace, and then you could have one that's a little bit more chunky. And then you could have the pendant necklace that comes down. I'd be good for a reference. Right? So take those considerations, and into mind when you're thinking about which necklaces you want to get to layer up. um but definitely getting into some layering situations with your necklaces is game changing. I mean, you could do that and have a simple stud, you could do a hoop, whatever your vibe is, but you can most certainly elevate that look by adding on gold jewelry, especially gold necklaces. Now, if you want to push it even further, come on through and do the gold drip, right? Like, let's layer it up on the rings, okay? Layer it up on the ring situation. You know, you can do the days are gone where you just have to say like, oh, I just have to do one ring on each hand. You can do multiple, right? It's totally fine. Like you can jazz up the hand accessory situation all the way. That immediately elevates looks. So play up with layering and double up on rings on your fingers. You can do 2 rings on one finger, right? Like same rules apply. You know, you could do 2, and that's always really dope, right? So even the woman in this first picture, she's got a ring hanging on. She has the rings on each hand too, actually. So gold jewelry added into your wardrobe. Another thing about gold jewelry is, and even jewelry in general, get out of the frame of mind that is gold or silver, gold or silver. Like, oh, I have a lot of silver, so that's what I do. Maybe, you know, maybe you a diamonds gal, or maybe you a Pandora gal. Like, and you're like, oh, everything I got is silver. Okay, so add gold to it. It is fine. You can even mix the metals together. Oh my God, I know, blowing your mind. What? Yes. Add gold and silver together and enjoy your life. Like it's just fun. Like, get out of that space where you feel like it's so rigid and I can't do it, etc. Forget the I can't. Like, you can completely mix them together. So you could be doing a little silver necklace mixed in with the gold. Okay, you might do gold then silver then gold. Have a fabulous time. Okay. Portia said I have a lot of rings and usually get compliments on them. Yes, like, people see your hands. People see your hand, whether you're going for the handshake, whether you're talking. That's why it's always important when you're thinking about your whole look, not to neglect your nails and what you're doing with your nail care, whether it's a color, whether it's nail art, like making sure your nails are on point. She said, you usually lose your rings, so I don't spend a lot of money on rings. Listen, that's smart, because if you know yourself and you prone to losing particular pieces of jewelry, don't invest a lot of money in those pieces. I definitely have a client or two who does not do well with earrings. And so I am not taking you to Jacob the jeweler to drop $2,000 on a pair of, you know what I'm saying, 24 karat gold earrings. Why? If you lose them, you will be upset, right? Keep it chill. Don't spend more than 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks on a pair of earrings so that it's not a big blow to you if you lose them. Okay, let's keep them rocking with the tips. Next up, layering pieces. Okay, layering pieces, blazers, jackets, sweaters. You know, fall is here. We just had Halloween yesterday, so it is official on the East Coast that it's sweater weather time. Okay, it is sweater weather time. So layering, like, you want to make sure in your wardrobe you have some solid blazers that you can easily throw over any kind of top. Okay, so especially in the workwear department, like, blazers are timeless. Blazers are sharp, they're sleek, they add sophistication, you know, they can pull an entire look together. So blazers ain't going nowhere. All right. Now, the style and how you wear the blazers, you know, that's something that definitely depends on you and your own personal style. But I'll give you all a couple of tips too around how you can jazz up your layering situation with the blazers. So you can definitely do blazers in any kind of style. You can do solid colors, right? Whether you're doing your classic blacks or navies, if that's your style. But you know me, we got to jazz it up because too many people are just doing the basic. So you want to add some color in there. You know, red is a really great color all the time, but it's especially color that's in this fall season. So get that good red blazer popping, all right? And throw that over any of your solid color and potentially even printed tops, okay? You could easily do that over any bodysuit, any white collared shirt, any blouse, right? It's going to give you the pop of color that you really need. So I love that. Also, looking at the first model in this picture, she's got a little pinstripe situation happening. We love a print on a blazer, okay? Because the next level outside of adding a pop of color is doing a print, right? Like that's the next space where you can start to think about your blazers and get out of just black, navy, brown, gray. How about that? Okay. Oh, Portia says she gets her blazers from the thrift store because there were colors in the 80s and the quality is better. Listen, thrifting is an excellent, excellent way to get some quality blazers. Absolutely. And you know what? Here's another fun tip about thrifting too, especially if you're in New York. This could be anywhere. This could be anywhere, but I'm in New York City, so I'll share this with y'all too. But I definitely, when I was thrifting or looking for things, whether it's for myself or for clients, I would definitely go to wealthy neighborhoods and go to their local Goodwill, because I was like, okay, the people that's dropping off some stuff over here, like you're gonna drop off some quality finds, and I'm gonna get them at a lower discounted price, right? But the quality is gonna be there because it's gonna be a great brand. So that's another quick tip for you too, if you are definitely in the thrifting game, is pay attention to the neighborhoods that you're going in to find your pieces. So if you want some more eclectic things, like maybe you might go to, like if you're in Brooklyn, you might go to Bed-Stuy or Williamsburg if you're looking for something that's got a lot of cool colors or something that's going to be really funky and unique, because it's a younger community. You have a lot of creatives. So pay attention to the neighborhoods that these thrift stores, consignment stores are in. That's going to be a very big indicator as to what kind of pieces you can expect to find. So on the blazers and layering tip, definitely assess your blazer game for the fall. All right, look at your collection for the fall and definitely take stock of what you got on the blazer tip. On a styling tip for your blazers this season and anytime really, definitely invest in belts. All right, belts are big. Belts are interesting. Belts, I remember coming up, man, in the early 2000s, and you wouldn't be caught dead wearing a pair of pants without a belt on. What? Like, it was not optional. Then the belts went away. It was like, who needs a belt? We chilling. And now belts are back. Belts are back. Because listen, fashion, it's just one big circle, okay? But it's really great if you incorporate belts into your looks. And so when you're thinking about your belts, don't think about the belts just going through the belt loops of your pants. Why would you be so practical and think that? Instead, what I want you to do is take your belt and layer that over top of your blazer. You can also take that belt and layer it over top of your sweater. Yes, ma'am. Yes, you can. Okay. So if you want a new way to elevate your look and you're like, okay, Nana, like take a look at this first look right here. You feel like, I got a blazer, I got a white blouse or a white bodysuit, I've got my favorite jeans, I got a great loafer, but maybe my blazer's still black, right? And I'm just doing it and it just feels a little bit like I've done it before. I want you to invest in a really great bold belt that's got a great gold buckle, and the buckle could be any metal, right? It could be a great silver metal, but it's got a great detail to it. It's got a great clasp. It's something that it is a focal point. When you see it, you're going to be like, "Ooh, this is an intentional piece to pay attention with." Okay, so you're going to take that belt and you're going to button your blazer underneath, and then you're going to take the belt and you're going to put it over top. Okay. Easy way to elevate the look. All right. Listen, the belts, listen, like Gucci made that belt, and all the girls said, "I'm gonna get that Gucci belt." Like it is a thing, okay? It is a thing with the belts. And making sure you have a really great belt collection. So definitely this fall, let this be a space that you're like, let me make some investments in. All right. So I would definitely recommend getting a belt that is thin, getting one that's thin that again has a great metal clasp to it. I love the metal because I think it's an easy way to add some jewelry and some texture to your outfit. And then also look at a belt that's thicker, right? That's at least 1 inch to 2 inches. And then add that so you have some dexterity there. Yeah, Janae says, I love taking my trench coat belt and wrapping around my blazer. It adds such a different look, or even sometimes contrasting color scarf. Yes, we like that. We like it. I love that about the scarves because it is, fall in a lot of spaces, and scarves are another great way to layer and add some elevation to your look. And again, I'm talking mostly about blazers here, but if you're thinking about your sweater game and you're like, I got a bunch of cardigans, like maybe they're still in good quality, but you're like, I don't know, it's still feeling like a bit granny like. I understand. Pop that belt over top of that cardigan, like that's the way to do it. And also, too, when you're thinking about your cardigan, you don't have to button all the buttons up on the cardigan. No. Okay. You want to have some room on the top so that we can see what is layered underneath. So you only need like maybe 2 buttons, like in the center, where your waist is or right above your waist. You only need to button those. Okay. You don't need to button the whole thing up to have a great vibe when it comes to layering with your cardigans. All right. Another thing to think about when we're talking about layering is thinking about layering under and over. Under and over. Nana, what are you talking about? It's natural to think that when you're looking at a blazer, a jacket, a sweater, that you just wear, your tee or a blouse and you put the blazer over top. You put the cardigan sweater over top, right? I want you to also think about how you can do that with pieces like a dress. Okay, a dress is the best example that I can give when we talk about layering over and under. So in the woman on the right, she's wearing a dress, okay? And it might look like, oh, this is a sweater and a skirt, but she's doing a little dress situation. So this is a slip dress. Maybe you have a sweater dress. You might have a floral print dress. This is great to take any of those dresses that you've had from the summer that you're like, okay, can I really start to wear this for fall? Yes, you can. All right. Take that really great chunky knitwear sweater or even a cardigan, and you can rock that over top. It doesn't have to be a layer, meaning that you put your arms through the sleeves like a jacket, right? You can layer a sweatshirt over your dress if you're going for a casual weekend look and you want to elevate that. You can layer, again, that chunky knit sweater over the dress, right? Like you can layer shirts, okay? You can layer a regular shirt that you would button up. You could layer that over a dress, all right? So, allow yourself to think a little differently about layering your pieces and what it looks like to layer over top. Also, think about layering underneath. Pop out that good, well-fit turtleneck, okay? You can do a sheer, long sleeve top. Like there are a lot of lightweight sheer, or even it doesn't have to be sheer. It could be lightweight or sheer tops that are really great for layering underneath. You could look at Skims. Skims is great. They have great layering pieces like that. And you could take that and layer that underneath your dress. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Yes, you can do it. I believe in you. You could take that and layer that underneath of that slip dress. You could layer it underneath of a sweater dress, anything that has like spaghetti straps, or maybe even is strapless so that you can see the layer underneath, But what's most important about that is the fabric. When you're layering underneath, you really want to make sure that the fabric of the piece that's layered underneath is a lightweight material. You don't want it to be bulky if you're layering underneath, right? You can do more volume if you're layering over top and then it's like form fitting on the bottom. So we still get to see a bit of your shape. But if you're layering underneath, make sure that turtleneck, make sure that tee, make sure it's form fitted, and make sure it's more lightweight in terms of the material. All right. And listen, if you have questions, pop them in the chat. Feel free. As the chat is popping, folks are exchanging tips. Portia and Janae are giving y'all some great tips in the comments. So listen, help your neighbor, help your sister out, okay? All right, tip number 3. Jewel tones, baby, jewel tones, okay? We love the jewel tone pop situation. So jewel tones, if you are not familiar, these are your vibrant, energetic colors. They're very clear. They have a really stark pigmentation to them. These are the colors that you see and you're like, ooh, wow, you can't be missed. And they're extremely flattering. So they're not as transparent or translucent as your neon colors, right? Like neon is like, whoop, highlighter in your face, right? And they're not that intense. The intensity of the color is not that bright, all right? But jewel tones are just taking it a knock down from that, but a step up from muted. So they're the perfect color for anyone to rock. So that could look like your emerald greens, a great tangerine orange, ruby red or cranberry red, right? Like anybody can rock pop a color. As you can even see by these women on this page, they're all rocking great jewel tones and it's super sharp, super chic. Okay. So I love jewel tone colors, and then especially making sure that you're doing jewel tone colors in what's closest to your face. Okay. So that would be your blouse, the dress, the blazer, like making sure the jewel tones are on your face, because that is what's going to draw people in to look at you. All right. And focus in and be like, wow, I love it against your skin. It's making me sing. All right. Yes, Black people do look great in jewel tones. Yes, it's just fact. But yeah, so if you are a Black woman, a woman of color out there, and you are looking in your closet and you have a jewel tone deficiency, sis, this is time. Here's your sign. Get some jewel tones. And also, let it be said that jewel tones are not restricted for the summertime. They are not just colors that you wear because the sun is out and it's warm and we all outside. No, jewel tones are year round. One thing to really keep in mind is that when the weather starts getting colder, that doesn't mean that your wardrobe just needs to get darker and drabber. Okay? Rewind it back and listen again. Your wardrobe doesn't need to get darker and drabber, right? Like it doesn't need to be that, like, oh, well, fall, winter's here, so let me just wear all black. Like that does not have to be the rule. Okay. Black can be extremely chic. Black is extremely chic, right? And flying, when you do a full black look, it's amazing. But you don't have to have your entire closet filled with that. All right. You can definitely do a jewel tone in a sweater. You could do it in the blazer. You can do it in the suit. You could do it in the blouse. You can still wear those colors throughout the year. Don't limit yourself and think that it's only restricted for warmer weather. It's not. Okay. So jewel tones, classic, really great. Another thing to think about with jewel tones is to incorporate them not just in your clothing, but also in your accessories and your beauty. So you already know, if you've been rocking with me, you probably have heard something I talk about called the CAB, which is clothing, accessories, beauty. CAB, the CAB. Clothing, accessories, and beauty. You want to have all three working for you to make sure that your look is on point and fire. All right. So when you're thinking about jewel tones, think about them in all three of those spaces. All right. You might be getting a great necklace that has some jewel tones in it with some beads or some gemstones, or if it's got some great shapes and colors to it, like in your earrings, right? Like that's a space. Or if you're doing a lip color, all right, that's a great space to pop some color in. So look at jewel tones and how you can incorporate them into your look, in your clothes, your accessories, and your beauty. And that's definitely going to be a win and elevate your look. All right, let's keep it pushing. All right, this is one of my favorites. Uniquely shaped handbags. Okay, this might be one that you're like, huh, okay. Like all the others, you're like, okay, yep, I got it, I'm doing it. And this one is like, oh, am I? So thinking about your handbag game, all right? Handbags are so crucial. One, you carry a handbag all the time, whether you're going into the office and you're carrying a bag, even especially if you have a laptop, you've got that bag that has the laptop and everything in it, right? Whether it's running errands on the weekend, going out, like you have bags because they got to carry your stuff, all right? So don't let your bags just be the throwaway department. Right? Or just do the same kind of classic black or brown all the time, where especially where a lot of the bags might have like a hobo kind of vibe to it and they don't have a lot of structure to them. And so, or especially too if it's a crossbody or a satchel bag and it tends to be like throw everything in there. Y'all know what I'm talking about, you like, who needs something? I got something. Which you need? You need a sewing kit. You need you need some extra buttons. Who needs an Advil? I got it. Like, are you that woman? Are you that woman? Especially if you have kids, like I completely understand. Like, you got to be ready for them kids. You got to make sure you got the snacks on deck. But if that's the vibe, if that's what you have right now, right, and you've got a bag that doesn't have a lot of structure to it, maybe it's medium or large in size, and it's just basically really utility only, right? I'm going to invite you to invest and look at some handbags that have some different shapes, okay? And the unique shapes are really just what silhouette does the bag have, right? Like this is a great black bag, this first one. I think this is from, I'd have to zoom in on this one to see what this one is from. I can't see it. The letters are too small. I don't remember where this bag is from. But it's not, listen, the bag ain't nothing special. Okay. I wanted to specifically provide you with a black bag as an example, but give you one that has a unique shape to it. Okay. This one, boom, you can put it right on your shoulder. It's going to fit right there under your underarm. Great location, easy. But look at the shape of it, right? It's got like a roundedness on the bottom, right? It's almost like an egg, right? And then it's also got, this kind of divot in the center. So the zipper, it's got a curve to it, right? So it's got a lot of curves, this bag. And again, it's not just that bag that's, no shape, no structure. No, this is getting sophisticated egg vibe. How about that? Fabergé egg, but making it bag. Hey, Anika. So you really want to get into a unique shape, right? And so that could look like having something with curves. It could be a circle. It could be a square. It could be, there's so many bags. Some bags are even novelty, right? And maybe it's got like some lips on them or a cool saying. Like I have a bag. I don't use it as much anymore, but it's like from many years ago. It's in the shape of a little dog. Like there's so many ways to play around and have fun with your handbags that I want you to get out of just looking at a bag and being like, okay, well, this one is black or this is brown and it's going to fit my laptop and that's it. No, I need you to do better. I need you to do better, right? I love this orange bag on the end here. It's giving, just a great structured, edged line shape. What is that? A trapezoid? Like this is taking me back to geometry. But it's basically if a square and a triangle had a baby, right? So it's giving that. And then it's even got this other chain happening on the end. We love that. Also, it's versatile because it's got the top knot handle. So you could just hold it or put your arm through it. And then you could see there's a strap in the back that if you needed to wear it crossbody or put it over your shoulder, you could do that as well. Okay. Um, yeah. Okay, Portia. So let's get the bag game popping. I love that you had that heart-shaped bag. That's cool. Yeah, this is like bags are a great space to play around with. And it's also a really great indicator of your style, right? Like if you have more of a classic style, you might be doing this first black bag, right? Because it's black, it's leather, it'll go with most of the things in your closet, right? But if you have a little bit more of a creative kind of vibe, but maybe you're still in the executive space, this orange is great for you. It's got the pop of color, it's a jewel tone, and then it's unconventional, right? In terms of that shape and especially in terms of the hue. So it's going to give you a little bit of a wow factor there too. Not even a little bit, a whole lot of a wow of a wow factor there. Okay? So get into different shaped handbags. And let me tell you, like when it comes to bags, right? Like bags, shoes, when you're looking at your accessories, these are spaces that sometimes a lot of people are like, you know what? I'm going to invest. I am going to make sure that my shoes are of great quality and my handbags are of great quality. Awesome. If that's the way you want to go with it, like do it. Like that is definitely an easy way to make sure your looks feel elevated because if you are going to, invest in a really great bag, like that's it. Whether you are doing Telfar or you're doing Brian Blackwood, it doesn't matter what the brand is, or if you're going, in the Louis Vuitton direction, right? But if you are going with a brand where the price point is one that you're making an investment because it is a luxury brand, so the quality is going to be great and it's going to last you forever, right? It's a great investment because when you think about it, you use the bag every day, right? Like that's a bag that you're going to be using every day, if not every day, multiple times in a week, multiple times in a month. So when you think about the cost per wear, which is, what's the cost, what's the investment for the piece versus how much I wear it, right? So when you think about those two kind of, data points, if you will, it can really make sense for you, right? It can really make sense for you. So when you think about things like shoes and bags, you're always going to be wearing shoes on your feet. You're always going to be carrying your bag, right? Things even like glasses, right? So take a look in your wardrobe and look at the things that you wear often. And those are things that you would definitely want to make more of an investment in a higher quality, in a higher quality product. Okay. Okay, Portia said, of these tips you shared today, which do you recommend investing in? Accessories, blazer, jewel tone piece bags. Ooh, not you asking me these hard questions. Well, I'm gonna answer that after I get to the last tip. How about that? Just so you guys can have all 5 tips, and then I'll tell you which one I think is a great space to start with. So yeah, so look at your bags. Look at some uniquely shaped handbags. And again, when you're thinking about where to shop, like I said, you could do something that's more luxury. You can do something that's midpoint. You could easily go to a Zara and find some great bags. And really low key, you can find some really great bags on Amazon. I have found some awesome bags on Amazon in some great shapes and some great colors. Okay. So definitely check that space out too. All right, let's get into the final tip, mixing textures. Mixing textures. This is this is one of my favorite ways to elevate a look. All right. Basically, when you talk about mixing textures, it's about intentionally adding fabrics that they're not contrasting, but they are fabrics that are different. Okay. So that could be mixing leather and cotton, or silk and some fur, right? Or snakeskin leather, like, or denim. Like, it's about mixing textures together. So your whole entire outfit isn't just a cotton or cotton polyester blend. No, we got to add some contrast in there. So you want to add a different fabric, something that you feel and you touch and you're like, ooh, this feels different. I like it. Right? Like that. That's the kind of vibe. You want to feel the material and you feel the difference in the materials in the clothes that you are wearing. So this first model here, super classic look, but she's definitely elevated it by adding that leather jacket, right? So she's just doing a basic white top. She's doing a skinny dark denim jean. And then she's actually, you guys might not be able to see this, because I can't blow it up anymore, but she's wearing a loafer and it's suede. Okay. So you've got suede in the mix, especially if you think of boot season, loafer season, suede leathers, great go-tos. Okay. So she's got the leather jacket, denim on the jean, and a suede shoe. Three different fabrics, three different textures happening for her. All right. Sis on the right, she's got more of that creative funky vibe. Okay. So she is going all in with this fur pink vest to complement the sweater or sweatshirt that she's got underneath. And then she's got the leather pant. And then she's also got a metallic boot. Okay. So you're playing with some fur, leather, faux leather, and then you've got a little metallic situation. Metallic is also another color or texture, or that is definitely in for this season, especially this fall. I mean, really, it's all Beyonce. The Renaissance tour, like, she brought metallic. All right, so Portia said, "Oh wow, I didn't realize that I do this a lot." Come on, Portia. Okay, that's why you be getting the compliments and the looks. The looks be looking. All right. So really elevating your look by adding textures. So if you're just starting out with something like this, you're like, "Ooh, nah, I don't know." Just pick one piece, okay? If you have more of a classic or traditional style, start with that great leather jacket or leather blazer. Like, that is the first place that I would start. You already know it's fall. We talked about blazers from jump. You want to get a new blazer or a new jacket, make it a leather blazer, make it a leather jacket, something that you could easily layer in with your jeans. You're going to wear a dress, add the layered leather jacket to it. Easy way to add some texture into the mix. The second next bet is a leather pant. Skinny, straight leg, wide leg, take your pick. But definitely doing a leather pant is something that's sharp, it's chic. It's something that, depending on the vibe of your office, you could do that with a great blouse and some flats or some heels, okay, or a boot. It's definitely versatile, that depending on your office, it could be something that you rock, whether it's during the week or if it's a casual Friday situation, right? You could do a great leather pant, and then you could easily transition it to the weekend. That's what we love, the Friday situation, right? Especially if you are going into the office, right? That leather pant, such a good transition piece. And it's a nice alternative to a jean, okay? So we love mixing textures. All right, I'm going to go back to the first slide in case you're popping in a little bit late and you're like, "Oh, I missed some of them." Hey, you can watch this over and over again because it's not going anywhere. It's right here on LinkedIn for you. And then you can see a couple of the tips here right now. So we talked about gold jewelry, especially layered necklaces. We talked about layering pieces like blazers, jackets, and sweaters. We talked about jewel tone colors, those vibrant oranges and greens and reds, uniquely shaped handbags, okay? And then mixing textures, mixing fabrics together that are unique, okay? Not just cotton and polyester throughout the whole look. Poor says she's looking for a leather skirt. Look, listen, you could definitely get that. You could definitely get that. Probably now's a good time to go and take a look at that, because people have begun to clean out their closets for the fall. So it's a good time to roll through. You'll find something this month for sure. So to answer your question, Portia, that's a really tough question. Which one? Now, this is okay. So you know what? Actually, if we're talking about investing, so when I hear investing, I'm thinking we're spending some money, right? So where should my monies go? Especially for fall, I would start with the layering pieces. But what I'm going to tell you is to think about mixing textures when you're investing in those layering pieces. So that's something I just talked about at the end. I would recommend, like, I mean, basically I gave it to you at the end. Like, get the leather jacket. Right? Like if fur is your vibe, get the vest with the fur. Like add some great layering pieces, but think about things that have some texture to them. And then you can get a 2 for 1. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Okay. Yeah, that would be my recommendation there. So these are the 5 tips to elevate your look. And again, you can do this on any budget. If you are a thrift store gal, Portia is the thrift store queen. You could go that route. I've gotten pieces. I says, I've gotten pieces from Target, okay, because the Target collections, and then they have great collaborations with Black-owned brands, and actually, like just color brands of color. That's not how I want to say that. Brands that are owned by people of color in general. Thank you so much, Words. Thank you for coming. Target has done an amazing job of upping the ante in the collaboration zone. So you can find pieces that are going to be unique. Okay, you're going to find some of those jewel tones. Like, you're going to find some texture. You're going to find some layering pieces. So yeah, so it could be anywhere. You could be getting toilet paper, you could get a great duster and be like, ooh, this has been a fabulous trip. All right. Or if you're more of a boutique gal, right? You could definitely go to some boutiques and just like do a Google search, go on Instagram, #boutiques, like in your city. And you can find some really great places that have already curated some things that I guarantee you'll love, or if you just want to do luxury or do a department store and go to your Macy's or your Nordstrom, or do luxury and go straight to some of brands that you really adore. Like, it could be Dior, it could be Gucci. We already talked about those Gucci belts, right? And then we talked about Brandon Blackwood, if you're into handbags and you're looking for something like that. Or if you're into shoes and you're looking for luxury, you could be looking at Brother Vellies. Like, there's so many places. So I want you to think less about, Donna, where do I find this? Where do I find this? And instead, go to where you naturally already shop. But now you're going to know what you're looking for. Okay? All right, Anika says yes. She's going to try a leather jacket this year. Okay, bold, but she's open. You will crush it. You will crush it. Get that leather jacket, and then if you want to do it and make it versatile for work, get it in a cut that's like a blazer, right? So maybe it'll be a peplum style, but just make sure it fits you well through your sleeve, through your bust, and through your waist. Okay. So when you're trying it on, definitely make sure you have a shirt underneath that you would wear for work, so you can see how it feels layering, so you can make sure you get the right sizing. Portia said, this makes sense. My mom has some leather jackets that lasted her for decades. Yeah, leather is the best go-to. If you're thinking about mixing textures, I highly recommend starting with leather. Like it's a great space. And if you're thinking about things and you're budget conscious, go for faux leather, right? It could be just as great. Just make sure it's not shiny. The faux leather shouldn't be shiny. You're getting into uh you know, getting into plastic zone on that one. Okay. Just make sure it's not shiny. But it could be a nice quality leather, whether you're doing black, whether you're doing brown, whether you're doing any print. You could be doing a snakeskin feel on the leather. So lots of different spaces. It could be, and also too, let me give this tip too for y'all. If you're thinking about the leather, and black definitely always works. If you're going into brown, that works well too, like a camel brown. It looks like a caramel color. That's a great space. Those are great colors that always work. If you already have a black leather jacket, like a motorcycle jacket, and maybe you want to do something different, look at some other muted colors like a dark red or a dark green or a dark blue. So this is probably the only, well, no, I don't need to say that. Take it back. But if you are looking for some more color with your leather jacket, your leather pant, you can, and you want it to rock with what you already own. Don't go for the jewel tone. Too much, too bright. Unless it's your style. For most folks, that's going to be a lot with the leather. That's going to be a lot. But it's better to do the leather in a more muted color. So again, go for that deep, deep maroon, right? Go for the navy blue. Go for the olive green, right? They will act as neutrals, and you could wear them even with your other colors. And you could even probably get into some cool monochromatic looks too. All right, y'all. I hope the tips were tipping. I hope you enjoyed this session. Definitely drop in the comments. Let me know what tip you love the most, where you're going to be making some moves this fall. I'm thinking about your wardrobe. And if you do need some guidance and you're like, you know what, Nana, I love the tips, but you know what? I don't have the time. I really need you to do this for me. Let me know. Hit me up in the DMs. Just drop me a message, as I do have space for 2 people this month that we are going to do some quick wardrobe refreshes for. And I am going to come to your home or work with you virtually, go through your closet and help you shop for a few pieces. Well, actually, I'm going to do the shopping for you. That's just what I do. Okay. And then we'll do a bit of a styling session to make sure you have some great looks popping and you got some pieces for work and weekend. Okay. All right, y'all. Have a fabulous rest of the day, and I will see you next Wednesday. Peace.